Hello everyone, we discussed Chapter 8. What is procurement? The word procurement is the process of acquiring goods, services, or works from an external sources. It involves activities such as sourcing suppliers, negotiating contracts, purchasing and managing supplier relationship to ensure the organization obtains the necessary resources at the best possible value, quality, and efficiency.
Procurement is concerned with acquiring all of the goods, services, and work that is vital to an organization. So, included dito, locating, purchasing, at pag-obtain ng goods and services. Procurement is not the same with purchasing kasi parang part ng procurement ang pagpa-purchase.
Purchasing is a part of procurement. Procurement is considered a core part of any organization's corporate strategy. Purchasing, then, is a subset of procurement. And as we've outlined, purchasing generally refers to buying goods or services. Purchasing often includes receiving items and payment as well. A business steps to make a purchase are called the purchasing process. Businesses usually have to go through a formal process when they buy something. Also, when they want to buy something, they may need to research, get input from different departments, negotiate, and send output payments.
Selecting vendor. The vendor selection process, also referred to as the vendor procurement process, is a series of step organization used to access business needs, determine product or service requirements, and source third-party partnership that fulfill needs and requirements. So the importance of selecting vendors is the supplier selection is the stage where you decide that supplier will get your business and ultimately determines how much risk you are taking on. It determines the important questions that will influence the success or failure of your procurement process.
Procurement involves establishing payment terms. Procurement payment terms refer to the agreement between a business and its suppliers regarding when payments are due, how much is paid, and what payment methods are accepted. It's important for these terms to be established and agreed upon before any purchases are made or contracts are signed.
Strategic vetting in procurement and purchasing is a comprehensive evaluation process used to assess and select suppliers or vendors based on criteria that align with an organization's long-term goals and objectives. This process goes beyond basic criteria such as cost and quality to include factors like supplier reliability, ethical standards, sustainability practices, innovation, capabilities, and compatibility with the buying organization's strategic vision. The aim is to establish strong, mutually beneficial relationships with suppliers that can contribute to competitive advantage, reduce risk, and ensure a stable, high-quality supply chain.
Procurement report, vendor selection and contract negotiation. The procurement process plays a crucial role in the success of any organization, ensuring the acquisition of goods and services in a cost-effective and efficient manner. This report focuses on the key aspects of vendor selection and contract negotiation, outlining the steps involved in these processes. So here are the flow of vendor selection. 1. Identifying needs. The procurement process begins with identifying the organization's needs and requirements. A comprehensive analysis of goods or services required is conducted to determine the criteria for vendor selection. 2. Vendor assessment and strategic vetting. Potential vendors are assessed based on various factors such as quality, reliability, pricing, and reputation. Strategic vetting involves evaluating vendors' capabilities to meet long-term organizational goals and objectives. 3. Shortlisting and evaluation. Based on the assessment, a shortlist of potential vendors is created. Each vendor is evaluated against predetermined criteria to ensure alignment with organizational requirements. Our next topic is the flow of establishing payment terms. 1. Negotiation. Payment terms. Payment terms are established through negotiation with selected vendors. Terms may include pricing, discounts, payment schedule, and payment methods. 2. Ensuring compliance. Payment terms must comply with organizational policies and regulations. Contracts are reviewed to ensure clarity and accuracy of payment terms. Here is our next topic, the flow of contract negotiation. 1. Negotiation process. Negotiation involves discussing terms and conditions with vendors to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. Key aspects such as pricing, delivery, schedules, warranties, and service levels are negotiated. 2. Legal review and approval. Contracts are reviewed by legal experts to ensure compliance with laws and regulations. Any discrepancies or potential risks are addressed before finalizing the construction or the contract itself. Here are the conclusions. Effective vendor selection and contract negotiation are essential for optimizing procurement process and achieving organizational objectives. By carefully selecting vendors and negotiating favorable terms, organizations can enhance operational efficiency, reduce cost, and mitigate risk. Here are the 3 recommendations. Regularly review and update vendor selection criteria to adapt to changing business needs. Foster strong relationships with selected vendors to promote collaboration and innovation. Continuously monitor vendor performance to ensure adherence to contract terms and service level agreements. And this is the appendix. Include any additional supporting documents such as vendor assessment, matrices, contract templates, and negotiation checklist. And that would be all.
What does our company want to do? Company identity typically encompasses its values, culture, mission, and brand image. It's about defining who you are and what you stand for and how you want to be perceived by customers, employees, and the public. This might involve conveying a commitment to innovation, customer service excellence, sustainability, or any other principles that guide your organization. What does our company stand for? It's essential to refer to your mission statement, core values, and any guiding principles set forth by your leadership team. These elements often reflect the overarching purpose and ideals that your company aspires to uphold. If you can provide more specific information about your company, I can offer more tailored insight. Does our company have any specific classic beliefs that will determine our business model? Understanding our company's classical belief can provide valuable insight into our business model and approach. Classical belief might include principles such as free market competition, individual right, limited government intervention, and the importance of private property right. This belief can shape various aspects of your business, from decision-making process to how you engage with customers and stakeholders.
Market placement is a strategic concept that involves positioning a product, service, or a brand within a target market to meet the needs and preferences of the specific customer segment. It attempts to address the questions like, who are our customer? This question identify and understand the characteristic of a target audience. It involves demographic factors such as age, gender, income, and location. Another question is, what do they want? Understanding the desires and needs of the target customer is crucial for effective marketing placement. By aligning product or service within the customer wants, a business can create a more appealing and competitive offering. Last question is, what do they believe in? Brands that resonate with the core value of their customer are more often more successful in building long-term relationships. Businesses may align their marketing message, branding, and operating identity with the value that matters to their customer, creating a stronger emotional connection.
What are the strengths and weaknesses of our company? Strengths. This could include factors such as strong brand reputation, innovative products or services, skilled workforce, efficient processes, loyal customer base, and financial stability. Weaknesses. This might involve areas such as limited market presence, outdated technology, poor supply chain management, high employee turnover, financial constraints, or lack of differentiation in the market. Do our strengths support the long-term goals of the company? Evaluate whether your company's strengths contribute positively to achieving its long-term goals. For instance, if your long-term goal is to expand into new markets, having a strong brand reputation and innovative products can support this objective. Conversely, if there's a misalignment, it's essential to identify areas improvement or strategic shifts. How do we want to grow the company? Consider the resources, capabilities, and the market dynamics that will enable you to achieve these growth objectives. Define your company's growth aspiration, whether it's through expanding market share, introducing new products or services, entering new geographical markets, diversifying customer segments, or strategic partnerships.
Do we need to hire developed talent to lead the business the goal we've established? The decision to hire or develop talent depends on a thorough analysis of your current team, the specific requirements of your goals, time constraints, budget consideration, and the broader market context. It's often beneficial to strike a balance between internal development and external hiring to ensure a well-rounded and capable leadership team, including the current skill set within the organization, the specific goals you've established, the urgency of achieving those goals, and the available resources.
Management issues. Does the company have the resources, equipment, estate, etc. needed to support the long-term goals of the company? Company ensure they have the resources needed for their long-term goals to the strategy planning and maintain a long-term perspective. Here is the example of the long-term goals. Promote a long-term vision. Companies should focus on their long-term vision rather than just short-term gains. This involves allocating resources around the most high-impact priorities and defining long-term goals with short-term goals to support them. Here's another example is maintain a long-term perspective. Leaders who keep a long-term perspective can ensure their organized stay aligned with future goals and objectives. This involves staying focused on their core mission, value, and vision. That's all. Thank you.
Procurement process. Procurement is obtaining or purchasing goods or services, typically for business purposes. Procurement is most commonly associated with businesses because companies must solicit service or purchase goods, usually on a relatively large scale, and it can also include the overall procurement process, which is critically important for companies leading up to the final purchasing decision. Companies can be on both sides of the procurement process as buyers or sellers. Through here, we mainly focus on the side of soliciting company.
Here are the steps in the procurement process. First, we have the identification of requirement. Ito ang unang hakbang kung saan tinitiyak ng isang ahensya o kumpanya kung ano ang kanilang kailangan na bilhin o pagkuhanan ng serbisyo. Second one is authorization of purchase request. Pagkatapos matukoy ang pangangailangan, kailangan ng pahintulot o authorization mula sa mga namumuno o may kapangyarihan sa kumpanya upang magpadala ng hiling na pagbili sa tamang pagbili o tao.
Good day everyone, this is my report. Financial approval of a purchase. Request means getting permission from someone in charge of the company. Finances before buying something. For example, if you want to buy a new computer for work, you need to ask for approval from the finance department first to make sure it's okay to spend the money. And the next one is procurement. Procurement is like shopping for a business. You find what you need from different sellers, negotiate the best deal, and make the purchase. For instance, a restaurant buying vegetable from a local farm is a form of procurement. That's all.
Identification of suppliers refers to the process of finding and determining suitable vendors or manufacturers from which to purchase goods or service, while inquiries could indicate the action of asking for information from potential suppliers or raising questions related to procurement. Based on my understanding, identification of supplier, ito ay proseso ng paghahanap at pagtukoy ng mga angkop na vendor o tagagagawa. Ang inquiries, ito ay magpahiwatig ng pagkilos ng panghingi ng impormasyon mula sa mga potential na supplier o pagtataas ng mga tanong na may kaugnayan sa pagkuha.
Hello, good evening everyone. So we will discuss the chapter 8 of HPC004. So this is the procurement and the purchasing process. So I have to discuss our receipt of the quotation and negotiation. So when it comes to the receipt of the quotation, it is written documents where the particular items and the price are there in the data. So when we have this data, so I will negotiate it to our supplier. So this is based on my experience here in my work. So we have the capex. So we have the target price also. So the requesting department requested a dough sheeter, for example. So what are we going to do is give them a set of supplier, or we do a canvassing or comparative report. So from that, as a procurement, so I will pick it up the best price, the terms or the longer terms, and the after sales or the good service of this supplier. So when our boss requesting to haggle it the price, so I'll be the one who negotiate it to our supplier. So from that, we do a what do you call that, a set of a forecasting. So I will submit it to the supplier so we can haggle the price on the cheaper one. So that's it for today. Thank you for listening and have a good day.
Good evening, everyone. This is our reporting. First, selection of vendor. The vendor selection process is a critical part of the procurement process. It involves researching potential vendors, defining the project and gathering requirements, developing selection criteria, and creating a request for proposal, assessing vendors and negotiating and finalizing the deal. Next one. Purchase order acknowledgement. A purchase order (PO) acknowledgement is a confirmation from supplier to deliver specified quantities of the products at specified price within specified times. A PO acknowledgement can be either fully acknowledged with no deviation or partially acknowledged.
An advance shipment notice is
a document electronical from a supplier to customer before a shipment is delivered. It acts like a heads up, letting the customer know what to expect in the upcoming delivery. A good receipt, known as SGR, is a document issued by the customer after receiving and verifying the goods from the supplier. It acknowledges that the shipment has been received in good condition and matches the information on the ASN.
Using purchase order, especially those generated by an e-procurement software solution, is a critical. Regardless of your size of your organization, don't simplify. Use your credit cards and save the receipt. Don't rely on email which are hard to track. Mahalaga ang paggamit ng purchase order, lalo na mula sa isang e-procurement software solution. Ang e-procurement software solution ay isang sistema ng isang software na naglalayong mapadali at mapabilis ang proseso ng procurement o pagbili ng mga goods at services. Sa kahit anong laki ng iyong organisasyon, huwag lang gumamit ng credit cards at isave ang resibo. Huwag umasa sa email na mahirap i-track.
Purchase order acknowledge is normal document sent by seller to confirm receipt of purchase order from the buyer. It typically includes details of order number, date, item order, quantities, price, and any special term or condition. These documents serve as confirmation that the seller was received the order and intends to fulfill it according to the agreement terms. It's helped to ensure clarity and alignment between the buyer and seller regarding the details of the transaction. Advance shipment notice is the document sent by supplier to buyer to provide detailed information about the final delivery. It typically includes details of the content of the shipment, quantities, except delivery dates, carrier information, anything special handling instruction. Advance shipment notice help buyer to prepare for the incoming shipment by allowing them to plan for receiving inspection and inventory management.
A good receipt is an important step in the purchasing process. It's the formal process of receiving goods or services from a supplier after a purchase order has been issued. The purpose of good receipt is to confirm that the goods or services ordered have been delivered in the correct quantity and quality, are in accordance with the details specified the purchase order. Invoice recording, also known as invoice processing, is a key part of the accounts payable process in a business. It involves receiving the invoice from supplier, validating it, recording it in the accounting system, and preparing it for payment.
The purchasing process. Three-way match. The three-way match is a procurement process where three documents, purchase order, delivery, receipt, and supplier invoice, are compared to ensure they correspond accurately. This helps verify that the goods or services was received as ordered before making payment. Payment supplier. Fulfilling the financial obligation by transferring the agreed upon funds to the supplier based on the verified and approved invoice. This step finalizes the transaction and acknowledges the completion of the purchase.
Purchasing process. Purchasing then is a subset of procurement, and as we've outlined, purchasing generally refers to buying goods or services. Purchasing often includes receiving items and payment as well. The purchasing is the formal process of buying goods and services. The purchasing process can vary from one organization to another.
Procurement deals with the sourcing activities, negotiation, and strategic selection of goods and services that are usually of importance to an organization. Procurement is like shopping for a company. It involves finding and choosing the right stuff, negotiating prices, and making strategic decisions about what the company needs to run smoothly.
Isang example ng purchasing ay ang pag-order ng mga paninda sa tindahan. Sa mga prosesong ito, ang tindahan ay ang nag-order ng mga produkto niya mula sa mga supplier upang ipagpatuloy ang kanyang operasyon at mapagkukuhanan ng mga kalakal ang kanilang mga customer.